What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. We are here on floor number 380 in the Liferoot Forest, and I wanted to kind of do a step-by-step walkthrough of some of the go-to setups that I've been using here lately. So, first things first, we hop into the map. We see we have 800 defense units. In those 800 defense units, we've got 4 ground lanes and 2 flyer lanes. Now, one of the things that are unique on this map as far as the flyer lanes go is in both of the starting flyer lanes, the flyers dip down super low, meaning that most of the time on these 2 outer lanes, your regular ground defenses that you have set up is going to be more than sufficient to take out the flyers as well. So let's take that in mind and take kind of a 200 DU per lane approach and look at this as if there's 4 lanes and we've got 800 defense units. We are going to protect Quab for some ungodly reason. We're going to keep this guy alive. So let's just start right over here on this far side. Okay, if we take a look at it, we've got Omega Squad Theta, we've got Power Block, and Unstoppable, so these enemies cannot be slowed. Now, we do have the EMP Kamikazes. They're abominable, and they have Pilot on. Enemies take increased damage per condition they're under. Now, this is just kind of a win here. We do have the Cyborgs. We know they can't be stunned, or they can't be slowed, pardon me. So, I'm going to take a look at some stuns. Now, one of the stuns that have just been, really, it's been a super go-to for me, is using Petrify. So we're going to go with that 1 amp warrior build I posted up. Let's actually move back just a little bit further. We're going to Petrify them right about here, and this is also a point, as you see, where the flyers have just dipped down super low, and it's a pretty nice choke point, really. It's not the closest choke point in the game, or on the lane, but it is a pretty nice choke point with the flyers down plenty low. Okay, so we've got our poison in. We're going to need to get our earth in, and for that, of course, we're going to use a reflect beam. Now, this reflect beam does have 100% tenacity on it, so it will be absorbing those cyborg blasts from the cyborgs in the lane. The protons I'm using do have poison. They've got tenacity as well. However, I actually wish I didn't have it on there right now, as I haven't been using the benefits of it. Now, I could sneak this proton up, but I'm kind of building this the way someone who does not have a tenacity on their protons would want to build it. Now, of course, we already know that what makes this build powerful is just jacking it up through the roof to get massive reflect beam damage off the nodes. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a boost aura, and I'm going to give it a destructive pylon as well on the lightning strike aura. Now, this particular boost aura, I am using boosted grasp. Even though enemies can't be slowed in this lane, we do have other lanes where we're going to be needing that slow. So I am going to keep boosted grasp into the mix and go with the CC over the power on the boost auras. Now, we need to continue further. We know we got flyers. I'm not confident that these reflect beams will get the job done, and I think one of the easiest decisions there would be to just throw in a flame aura just to get that just lane covering AoE for when the flyers come dipping in. So we've got 180 DU spent. I actually feel pretty good about this covering this lane, so I'm going to save that extra 20 DU and maybe use it elsewhere. Now, when we look at the lanes we have left, we're going to kind of do a rinse and repeat of that exact build from that lane over on this side, somewhere where the flyers will be enraged. And then we're going to look at what we have left after that. So let's just go ahead and duplicate that other lane right here. We want to make sure we put it far enough back where the flyers have dipped down to their lowest point. And then we're just going to throw all the other goodies that we had on that other lane right here as well. Let's go ahead and sneak in a flame aura there, and we'll boost it all up with a destructive pylon. And we don't have any cyborgs here, yet we are going to be relying on that big boom from the walls, so I'm going to throw that reflect beam in anyway. Plus, if we do get a Thork or something that spawns in this lane, that will take care of him. Now we actually have a 40 DU surplus, And when we look at the 2 lanes left, I got a Winner's Here lane that's Headstrong. So these enemies can't be stunned. I can't use the Petrify. I can't use the Electrocute. It's not going to do anything for this lane. Now the other deal is Frost enemies can't be slowed. So these enemies cannot be slowed and they can't be stunned. However, I do have a huge benefit of having Armored on that lane. Now with all this in mind and this lane being unCCable for the most part, I'm going to build that lane last and use all of the excess DU that I have available in that lane, as I do think it will be my trouble spot. Now when we take a look here, we've got Omega Squad Gamma with Pilot on. This is another rinse and repeat of that 1 amp warrior build, so let's just throw it on the ground here. And you know what, we don't even need the Flame Aura in this one, I don't think. I think I'm going to throw it in anyway, but I really believe we just don't even need it. Let's see, let's go with the Proton. We got another really nice choke point here. I'm putting it right here at this point because it's basically leaving 100% chance to get hit by a Proton Beam if the mob makes it to this point. And that's going to be right about at the end of my Petrify range. So with that in mind, I want this to be the final roadblock right here at the closest choke point in between those 2 posts. Now this leaves me a whopping 260 DU left. Holy crap. Now these enemies, once again, can't be stunned, can't be slowed. However, I'm still going to boost it, because let's just jack it up with massive fire damage, as this lane is armored. And of course, fire is magic, meaning it's going to do 25% increased damage just because of that armored mutator. Now we also know Frost Orcs are going to take double damage from fire, so fire is just a good idea anyway. Let's just jack this lane up with a ton of fire damage. So I'm going to go ahead and boost the whole operation with that Destructive Pylon. I should probably use the correct monk. There we go. And then we're going to start stacking the fire. So we're going to go with 2 Flame Auras right on the outside. They're both within Destructive Pylon range, plus they're within the Boost Aura, so we're good to go there. And then we're going to swap on over to our Lavamancer. As most of you know, I had the Lavamancer set up for anti-frost lanes. My main concern being anti-orc. And I gotta tell you, I am getting to the point where I'm going to make a change to this particular relic very soon, as I'm going to throw that defense range away. And we all know there's 2 ways to counter Frost Orcs. You can outrange them, or you can overcap the rate. If you overcap the rate on them, then it's going to limit the effect of the defense rate of whatever defense you're using to getting dropped down to an unacceptable level. Now, the sweet spot here is going to be about 100% rate. I'm going to get to that point. Right now, I am at the 75% rate from using the defense rate shard in combination with my Ascension. Now, the reason I'm making the change and getting rid of defense range is the problem with the defense range build. Although it is wildly effective at the lower floors, eventually you're going to hit a wall. Defense rate is going to let you pass through that wall a little bit easier, so I'm going to end up dumping that. There will be a separate Fisher Spotlight incoming here in the very near future, probably sometime this week, with the new setup that I'm going to be using. So we are going to jack this lane up with the Anti-Frost to make up for what should be our toughest lane. Now we do have 20 DU left, and I figured, why not, let's just take a look at the lane that I just don't want to go anywhere near. And let's just throw an extra Last Resort LSA in right at the end of it. Now in addition to that, since I don't want to come near this lane, I'm going to spend some of that leftover mana in it and get this Reflect Beam and Flame Aura jacked up. And then you know what? Why not jump off the ledge and then come over here and do the same thing and spend another 100 green mana of what was left in that lane. So now I've got an upgraded aura for the flyers. I've got a pretty solid setup for that Omega Squad Theta. Same thing over there. Flyers should get wrecked. Berserker healers ideally will get wrecked. Another reason I went with the Lightning Strike Aura over here is because Berserker Healers means lots of Berserkers. And my Lightning Strike Auras, once again using the incorrect one, are set up to be boss killers. However, as a secondary function, I've got them set up to help me handle Berserkers and Assassins. So we've got anti-melee and anti-chaos on the Lightning Strikes, and it should just completely wreck all of those Berserkers that are going to roll out this lane. So let's go ahead and get over to our DPS hero and see how this runs. Now, I do want to keep a close eye over here on this lane. Even with this lane as powerful as it is, a bunch of Frost Orcs rolling out could definitely put a hurting on me, as these guys are starting to get a little beefy here. There's no doubt there. Actually looking good. Looking really good. It's just the quantity. We see the front fishers are getting hit. Actually, even all the way to the Flamars were getting hit. So a large push of Frost Orcs would just end up walking right through that. There's no doubt there. And that is where that rate will help me out. Let's just go ahead and put the smack down on this lane. We've only got 60 mobs, 50 mobs left. As you see, looking at the mini-map, everything on those outside lanes is getting handled. And I've just been keeping an eye on the mini-map, making sure that nothing is making the push right around here against Old Quab there. But we are looking pretty good. Here comes Assassin number 1. This will be a lot easier to take care of once I get some upgrades on this Lightning Strike Aura here in this lane. It's actually probably a bad lane to even go to. Let's kick it over here on this lane and wait for that Assassin. I think this is a more likely place for us to be able to deal with them with those double, the Proton, the Petrify, and the double Lightning Strikes. Alright, so let's see. Let's go ahead and throw our upgrades directly into this lane. Since the lane did really, really good, but it is the lane that I was the most concerned about. And then I'm going to hopefully leave this lane alone and just kind of chillax off here to the side on that Berserker lane with the double Lightning Strikes to kind of help me out with dealing with those pesky Assassins. Let's see, let's just throw some random ups around, get that reflect up as high as we can, and I think it is going to be good games. So let's see how Wave 2 runs here. If Wave 2 runs super smooth, I will jump forward to Wave 5, as I know this is going to be a very lengthy video here. I mention it quite frequently on stream, and I can't stress enough just not to burn yourself out in Onslaught. I've had a very enjoyable Onslaught climb here this time. Now, I did quite a bit of it with Omni, and of course we all know it's always more fun to play with friends. And that made things quite a bit better, but in addition to that, I don't really have a real goal now as far as what floor I want to get to. So I'm not stressing if I even do an Onslaught floor every day. I just don't care, and it's actually making the experience. I've climbed higher than I thought I would ever go again, to be honest with you. Just because it's been a lot more fun not trying to put any pressure on myself with it and just casually enjoying the game. See, it looks like that east lane is doing good. It's got just a ton of mobs coming in, but they are just getting wrecked. So we are doing super strong over there. We do have, what, a Slakelion. He's going to be a problem as he made it all the way through the fissures. I'm going to have to keep an eye on him in the future waves. However, we're looking pretty good. So I think I will go ahead and jump forward all the way to wave number 5 here, and we'll check out the final product on this map. And here we are in wave number 5. It's been pretty smooth sailing, really, altogether. I do have that Slakelion that I have to deal with right at the beginning of every wave, but that hasn't been too much of a challenge, as there's no other mobs around, of course, when the wave starts. So I've just been kind of working on jacking up the rest of this lane, and that one's been good. This lane, I've got the Reflect Beam up to tier 5 now, and the Flamar up to tier 5. I did the same thing in that lower lane. Now we do have another skelly coming here. That one I'm going to be able to completely ignore. Actually, I didn't get the flame aura all the way up just to reflect. So we're in really good shape there. I am going to upgrade both of these lightning strike auras just to help me out a little bit more against the assassins. And this one is pretty much good game. So let's start the wave off right over here. We know Slakelion is popping, so we're going to have to deal with him right away. And, of course, we'll give him that second to get spawned up here. And I'll go ahead and wind up the nuke. And Slakelion dealt with without any issues. So, since this has kind of been the lane I've been kicking it on, I haven't done as many upgrades over here as I originally intended to. But getting these lightning strike auras fully up would peel these assassins off of me just instantaneously. And I didn't get them all the way up. However, they're in pretty good shape. Even, you know, the Petrify is helping out. We're just getting a lot of benefits from getting these LSAs upped. Plus, you know, of course, the Berserkers are the real deal on this lane, no doubt. Okay, we got a Bastille Master coming that I actually missed on the mini-map. Now, everything over there is going to be immune, so I'm not sweating that Bastille Master at all either. The Plaguing Hawk is rolling out here now. Okay, Bastille Master down. Let's get these guys out of the way. Plaguing Hawk down as well. And now we just need to wait it out, because it is GG. Not having Headstrong Assassins certainly helped. If I had Headstrong Assassins, I would have been forced to get these LSAs fully upped. Since I didn't, of course, I got that luxury where I didn't have to worry about it. And we've got our final mobs burning down now. And there we go. Prestigious Energy Dagger, as that was my first time clearing floor number 380 right here in the Forest Crossroads. So thank you all an absolute ton for watching. Click that like button. Please subscribe. I've got a Nuke Monk, the final version, coming out really, really soon. I'm working on getting that completely fine-tuned. And I also have the alternatives in place for once you push past the point where you can no longer nuke, what you need to change to get the full nuke on. So that one will be coming soon, and then I'm working on a nice little Abyss Lord build as well that I've still got some more fine-tuning left to do. So those hopefully will be coming out this week, and I will see ya next time around with some more DD2. Take it easy.